Hi, my name is Yane Indigo. I'm here to talk to you about the Bernie or Bust strategy, Go Green 619. For many of us, Bernie Sanders represents our last hope in the Democratic Party. He alone has us open to the idea that the party may actually be able to return to being one that represents the people. It's ironic, therefore, that his unique ability to salvage the party for the people is exactly what has caused him to be met with obstacles at nearly every turn throughout this Democratic primary process. We've been watching, and the shenanigans of the Democratic primary has moved many of us to believe that the only way to salvage our government is to just break up this two-party system. However, if Bernie becomes the nominee, we certainly, most of us, will be interested and willing to work with the Democratic Party and see if we can save it. But just in case he is not, Bernie or Bust is launching the campaign Go Green 619. Here it is in a nutshell. We ask that on June 19th, you go to www.bernieorbust.org and take the pledge to change your registration to green when triggered, and then to promote the campaign every day throughout the convention using the hashtag GoGreen619. The trigger is Bernie being removed from the Democratic primary, either because he concedes or because HRC is nominated at the convention. If and when the trigger is pulled, we will all change our registration to green together, which, if he does not become the Democratic nominee, will happen no later than July 29th. If you learn about this campaign after the trigger, still go ahead and take the pledge and then change your registration without delay. Even if your state has rules against changing your registration, send in the paperwork anyway. Only if you need to stay in your party for local elections or if you have a role at the convention should you refrain, but you should still take the pledge. So, starting June 19th at 6:19 a.m. and constantly thereafter, but especially at 6:19 a.m. and p.m. every day, spread this campaign far and wide through your social media, emails. Help our goal to exceed 1 million strong. Now you might be wondering, why did we choose the date June 19th? Excellent question. June 19th was chosen for the Go Green campaign because it is after all the Democratic primaries and caucuses, and also because it is an important but little-known date in history. We all know about the Emancipation Proclamation, which was delivered on January 1st, 1863. But many don't know that it wasn't until 2.5 years later, on June 19, 1865, a date which is now remembered and celebrated as Juneteenth, that the last group of enslaved citizens were finally told that enslavement was illegal. For the first time since the birth of the United States, freedom was a right that belonged to all of her citizens. This is a perfect date for this campaign to launch because on a national level, it is a little celebrated, almost silenced, but huge moment in history. It is much like our love and freedom-based movement. The goals of Go Green 619 are as follows: to keep Trump out of the presidency by compelling the Democratic Party to make Sanders the nominee. To help Sanders realize that if he truly wants to keep Trump out of the White House, he needs to be on the ballot in November, and that if he is not the Democratic nominee, he must run on the Green Party ticket, a position which will be further supported by the $500 million for Bernie campaign. And if Bernie is not the Democratic nominee, Go Green 619 will position us to support the Green Party with confidence, whether the candidate is Bernie Sanders or Jill Stein, by showing that we have the numbers to install a third party. Understand, this is not actually about the Green Party. Inserting any non-establishment party into the mix will benefit all non-establishment parties, opening the door to a multi-party reality. What's most important about this campaign is that it is our way to unify our voices. So let's prepare to go green on June 19.